What are we working for? Where are we going? Who are you networking with? Where are your resources? What will you do when asked to put a needle in your arm? What will you do when asked to pay a tax on a bullet? I'm on the grounds of the Lucas Van Allen House, which was built in 1734. And it was built, as you saw the pictures, before there was a United States. And so we are now in a time when we're actively, surprisingly, sadly, contemplating what the United States may or may not look like. There's a lot of conflict going on right now. We have a lot of dispute about the election. We have rallies that are going on that are not being covered by the media. We have potential lawsuits that may actually upset what has been declared by the mainstream media as an outcome of an election. And it's got a lot of people worried. On the left, people are concerned that Trump won't concede and we're going to go into a military dictatorship. And on the right, people are worried that Biden's going to come in there and start packing the court, do all kinds of executive orders and send federal troops to come and confiscate guns, put vaccines in our arms, and live in a socialist hellhole. And probably somewhere in the middle is what's going to happen. I have to remind myself not to put my faith in politicians. And I hope that you're doing the same thing. I hope that you're not putting your faith in a human being to get us through this here in America. I respect people that are engaged in the process. Absolutely think that is wonderful. Keep it up. But by the same token, I think we have to take a step back, all of us, left or right, center, and start to think about what it is we're actually fighting for. I don't know about you, but America of 2019 was not a Shangri-La in my estimation. Yes, we had certain freedoms that we thought we had, but the illusion of those freedoms is very quickly going away. And we're seeing the reality for what it is. It's kind of like, discovering there's no Santa Claus. You thought you had this, you thought you believed that, but the reality of it is that it's just a different reality. It's a kind of a normalcy bias. The reality is that the fix is in. And the power structure is reasserting itself over the lives of ordinary citizens. And so the question I have to ask myself, and I'm wondering if maybe you're asking yourself the same question, is what exactly is it that we're fighting for here? I mean, I don't want to wake up every morning and go to war here in the United States against fellow Americans. I don't want that. I'm actively hoping and praying that that doesn't occur. But I also am asking myself the same question of what is it that I want? What is it that we're moving to, and what is it that we're working for? I applaud people that are in the streets and fighting for what they believe. I get it. I like it. But I'm not interested in fighting for 2019 America. Our Constitution has long ago been hijacked. Long ago. We have an administrative state. We have politicians that are corrupt on both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat. It's just varying degrees and on different issues. They don't work for the American people. They work for themselves. They keep themselves in power. And I'm not really willing to work for that, to restore that. By the same token, I'm not ready to hand in my arms and go live on the reservation like Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull did 150 years ago. The government will take care of you. Yeah, that didn't work out so well for the Lakota. Bury my heart at Wounded Knee and all of that. Pine Ridge Indian Reservation today, Standing Rock today, turning in the weapons and signing up for the free government cheese didn't work well for them. It doesn't work well for people that are doing that today, waiting for a handout. It doesn't work for them. Not in any kind of real way. So what is it that we're working for? I've spoken about in other videos the potential of having some kind of a secession movement, seceding peacefully. And I think I'm going to do some talks on that subject more in depth in the weeks that follow. The more I think about it, the more I really like that idea. And I think we're going to start seeing that movement growing. We have a few that have already started in the United States. The one that immediately comes to mind, it's not necessarily a secession movement per se, but it's a movement to create a zone of liberty lovers, the Free State Project in New Hampshire. New Hampshire, light blue state in the Northeast. No state income tax, no real restrictions on weapons, safe, free. I'm, of course, speaking to the liberty lovers out there. If you're a leftist, please stay away from New Hampshire. But the Free State Project is really actively trying to get people to make a commitment to move to New Hampshire. It's a small enough state. It's that where a few thousand people moving in can really move the needle and maintain freedom. It's one of the first colonies. It had its own constitution before we had a constitution. The state of New Hampshire pre-exists the United States of America. I have a hard time calling it the United States of America anymore. It's not united at all. We don't live in the United States of America. We don't live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. We did, but little by little we've given up a lot of our freedom. And we're about to give up some more. Well, I say we in the collective sense. I'd like to believe that I won't be, and I'll be helping people around me not to. But lockdowns and immunizations and health passports are not part of my future. But when I look around the world and I say to myself, where is it better? Where can I have all the things I have right now and not lose any of them? Keep them all, not lose any. And it's really hard. It's not Canada, where the Prime Minister up there eliminated a whole class of weapons at the stroke of a pen. The AR-15, the semi-automatic rifle, the most common rifle in the United States, America's rifle. In Canada, they can't have it. In lots of states, New York State, California, you can't even have a magazine that's more than 10 rounds. I don't want to give that up. I'm not going to give it up. But by the same token, I'm not going to fight to restore something that was broken in 2019. So I'm asking you, what are you willing to fight for? And what is your vision for that? We have to understand and come to the absolute realization that the United States as we knew it is over. It's over. The Constitution lives. The Constitution hasn't been lived up to. Constitution, I will support and defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic, to the day I die. I took that oath. I took it seriously. I live it, and I will do it. And I'm sure there's others around the hearing of my voice that will do it as well. I'll be standing right next to you to defend that Constitution. The government of the United States, in its forms, awesome, but corrupted. And the Republican Party is not going to save you, and the Democratic Party isn't going to save you. No party is going to save you. you're going to have to save yourself. You are going to have to save yourself. You're going to have to find people in your community to talk to join up with, and to protect each other. Because we're moving to that state. The idea of a nation state itself may be going away. Kind of a new form of feudalism, where we're just a bunch of serfs and we live on the land, like this farm behind me. I'm just given an opportunity to go and farm it, and I give 10% of the crop to the landowner, but I can't own it, or I can't hunt it. That's feudalism. Warlords. The rule of law, as you know it, is gone. Or I should say, it's departing. In all fairness, it's simply departing. The St. Louis couple, right, their name is escaping me right this moment, but when they were under threat by a mob and they went out to defend their property, yeah, sure, the woman shouldn't have covered anybody with their pistol. That's true. That's not good. That's not good. But they were telling them that they were going to come into the house and take over their house and destroy their house and kill their dog and all the other stuff that came along with it. They got prosecuted for that. So now I can't defend my own house, my own property, my own life? No. No, 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 no. Not while I'm alive. So what is it that we can restore? And does it look like 2019? Should it look like 2019? We know it won't look like 2019 because it's over. When this, how do we call it, cerveza bug started, and it went from flatten the curve for 2 weeks to 10 months later until there's a cure, the jig is up. Some of us have been saying it right from the beginning. Others are having a hard time seeing it. The mainstream media has declared one presidential candidate over another. Hasn't been certified by one state. Maybe we should ask the mainstream media just to declare a winner and not even have an election. Maybe our election is just irrelevant now. Whatever happened this year, whether it was straight up in-person voter manipulation, or it was a computer program, or if it was legitimate, the confidence in the American electoral system has been undermined, and it surprises me to no end that both parties are not saying, yeah, of course we want to make sure there's no impropriety. We will absolutely confirm that. Instead, we're told, don't worry, don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain, as in the Wizard of Oz. Everything's okay here. Keep moving along, keep moving along, keep moving along. No. The power structure has decided it's okay to gaslight the American people and potentially the world. What are we working for? Where are we going? Who are you networking with? Where are your resources? What will you do when asked to put a needle in your arm? What will you do when asked to pay a tax on a bullet? We have to stick together. I don't want a civil war. I'm hoping that there's a middle way. One middle way is for liberty lovers to get themselves up to New Hampshire, Free State Project, make it happen. You can do it. Let's keep one part of these United States free. It's a great place to do an experiment, a non-violent experiment. If that doesn't work, there's other opportunities, I suppose. other options on the table. But maybe we should try that one first. I think it was Frederick Douglass that said we have the ballot box, we have the jury box, and we have the cartridge box. The ballot box we have in our control, we're told. The jury box is not in our control. I don't want to be in a jury box. And then, of course, there's the cartridge box. And I'm really hoping we don't have to go to that one. I'm really hoping. But I think it's time for us to put down our normalcy bias and accept the reality that the stage has been set. And as much as you want something to be the way it is, you want it to be a certain way, it's not that way. So accept the reality and start moving on. Behind me, you don't see snow on the ground, and you still see some leaves on the trees, but that won't last very long. We're in a little bit of a lull here. So take advantage of this time and start doing what you need to do to get through this. Until the next time, my friends, hang in there, keep the faith, and remember that we will get through this together.